Hello, hey everyone, welcome in. Welcome to Melanin Gamers Bite Size Podcast. I'm here with the full squad today. We have In the Dark,
Hey guys.
OG Otaku,
Yay!
Obsidian Fury,
What's going on, man, people?
and Zen.
Yo, what's going on?
And it's your hostess with the mostest, creatively Anzi, and we are here to talk about, if you guys don't know, that's Disney, Pixar's, all their announcements and all the movies, films, and shows that are going to be coming out later this year and next year and afterwards as well. There was a lot of announcements, loads of announcements, mostly sequels, to be honest, and remakes, which I don't know how I feel about that. So we will go to Obsidian Fury in terms of like, what are we thinking about some of these announcements? Like, I want to throw stuff out there like Moana 2, Zootopia 2, Frozen 3. As you can see, it's everything's a 2, 3, or is it Toy Story 5? Like,
Yeah, I can't believe we're here for Toy Story 5, bro. What's going on?
Yeah. What's going on?
I think you're right. Were a lot of sequels. I didn't know who asked for a Lion King prequel, but I know I've got one family member who is definitely on that kind of hype train for the prequel. My only issue is that Disney have a track record of like retconning a lot of villains and trying to make them like the sympathetic villains. I miss like a villain being a villain, if that makes sense.
Cold-hearted villain.
Yeah, just straight evil. Like I miss that.
It's because there's no like story building plot with like the old school Cold Heart.
Yeah, but that's
you got to give him some depth. You got to like a villain, you know. So not all villains start off as villains, and that's that's
like 2020 nonsense. No, I'm here for I'm just a straight bad guy. Like, what was I watching? I think it was Baby Driver and Jamie Foxx's character, where he was just a punk. Like, and I'm like, yeah. Sometimes people are just bad people.
People are just bad. Yes.
Some people just want to see the world burn.
I don't need to try and sympathize with him. Just be evil and let me hate you. And then go everybody like stack 10 toes on it, like, you know. So exactly, like even Homelander is like, he's sympathetic because we can understand his like So now with the prequel for Lion King, I'm hoping they don't try and like retcon Scar into like this disgraced like prince who was like Mufasa was like the usurper who came and
first off, Scar wasn't even his real name. Like, that's not on his birth certificate. So he's been bullied into having that name for a facial deformity. Like, that's what's that about, bruv? It's not his problem.
Yeah. But because he was a bad guy, we didn't care. You see what I'm saying? Like,
but we should care. It's 2024, bruv.
Nah.
Not when it comes to bad guys. No.
I miss the good old bad guys.
Yeah, bring back bullying for bad guys.
Maybe if everyone didn't call him Scar every day, he wouldn't have had to push his brother off a cliff. You know what I mean?
Are you mad? Okay,
that's a wild statement. What you mean?
Let's not start that fight. Okay. So we're gonna get to that point. But so we saw Inside Out 2. I've watched it. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the Inside Out, like the franchise so far.
Wait. Spoiler for people who haven't seen Inside Out 2. So that it's actually a spin-off series called Dream Productions. That's what they've announced.
No, it's gonna take place between Inside Out 1 and Inside Out 2. So that's not really a spoiler. But anyway.
Okay.
I've
recently seen Inside Out 1. I haven't seen Inside Out 2.
Get on it. You need to get on it because it's fantastic. But my most like anticipated is obviously Incredibles 3.
Yeah, I mean, come on, that's everyone's most anticipated. Like,
yes.
You know, I don't see when they're ever gonna say like Incredibles 5, another one. Like, yeah, another one. Run that, bruv.
Sometimes they need to let these man them rest. Tom Hanks has been out here putting in work. He needs to rest now. So in that kind of regard, I'm looking forward to it because I don't want them to like I said before, I don't want them to like go back on any kind of like story advancements. Like I like Woody being he's living his life for him. I like that aspect of that for Woody because it's like this man has been through the gauntlet. Like he's been replaced. He's been fighting for these toys. And don't even get me started on bloody is it Mr. Potato Head? I hate him. I hate him more than Scott. I hate him. Of all the characters of all of fiction, nothing gets under my skin more than Mr. Potato Head. Honestly, I hope that he gets boiled, fried, and like crisp and like shredded in one of these. Like, that's what I'm praying for. Okay, I've never prayed for everyone's downfall. I prayed for that.
Wait, what about Lotso? Lotso was insane.
Lotto was a
Huh?
bad guy, yes, but Mr. Potato Head, he's worse because he's a turncoat. He is whenever
Yeah,
it gets
true.
tough,
I
he's
don't
the
even know
one
why I
that
said
will
that. I hate
undercut.
him the most as well.
Yeah. At least Lotso was a bad guy. He was like an antagonist. He was like bad guy from jump. But Mr. Potato Head pretends to be your friend. He pretends to be part of the team. But at every stage, this man is always trying to undercut Woody. Especially, don't get me started on Toy Story 1 and 2. Every time, this man, I'm like, brother. And then he gets a Mrs. Potato Head. Am I insane? Am I going crazy? Like, no. This man deserves the worst kind of ending known to man because he's worse. I'd rather have like what's the quote?
He's got a wife and kids, bruv.
I don't care. I don't care. I do not care. I'd rather have I'd rather have a competent enemy than an incompetent ally. And nothing screams more than an incompetent ally than Mr. Potato Head. Bruv, this is an entire podcast on its own. I could go like Kendrick Lamar levels of hatred against Mr. Potato Head, the way I despise.
I'm waiting to hear the diss track, bruv.
At every juncture, this man, this toy. Oh no. But anyway, on to lighter topics. Incredibles 3
And
and
Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, outside of him, that's what I'm looking forward to. And obviously the Lilo and Stitch live action. I love Lilo and Stitch.
Wait, hold on. How are we feeling about what Stitch looked like? It's given Sonic before they gave him the facelift. You know? Do you remember the original Sonic that they did in the live action? Everyone was like, "What the hell is this?" That's what that Stitch is giving. I don't know about you guys. What do you feel about Stitch?
I think it's an alright Stitch. I don't know. They can make it
I'm
a bit
pretty
more
sure they're
blue.
going to. I think they're going to fine tune him a bit before he comes out.
You know what it is? When you're doing these live action things, it's very hard to, keep it fantasized as well as keep it grounded in reality. Because that Stitch, if they just like give him a bit more bigger eyes, like animate them and like give him a brighter hue of blue and all of that, make him look a bit more cartoony, I'm sure that will sell because that's technically what they done to Sonic anyway. It's just, finding that fine line. It works with things like the Lion King because at the end of the day, they're just lions, innit? Like, so if they look super realistic lions, that's because they're supposed to. But there's no like real Stitch for us to be like, yeah, that's how Stitch should look,
Yes.
No, but going back to what you said about Sonic, it's like with those, because they are very like exaggerated characters, they need to have those that's what makes them
exactly
what they are in terms of their characters. So, when they were trying to make Sonic look realistic and his eyes actually being separated, like it just looked weird. It was just like, what is this alien when we're so used to like Sonic having the McDonald's shaped eyes? Like that's just his character. We used to draw him for. That's how I started when me drawing. That's how I learned how to draw Sonic. It was the upside down M, and it was a W, that the upside down looking W, and then the M, and then the little circle in the middle. So then when I now saw that, and I was just like, it was all joined together, and you're trying to make him look realistic, and then put branding on Sonic as well. You don't have the iconic red shoes. You went and put Puma on his foot.
Agreed. But I don't. Okay, so this might be another topic on. Like, I don't know why we're doing all these live actions. Like, why?
That was going to be my question. Like,
exactly what I was.
A lot, like you said, a lot of what's coming now is like Incredibles, like 3, like Toy Story 5. But where's the new IPs? There is a few new IPs. We'll speak about them, but not as many as you would think. And then like even the new stuff is kind of like, live action Lion King, but it's a prequel, and it's like, oh, okay. Did we ask for all these live actions? Do we need all these live actions? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think also the thing is, it's not really about just the live action. It's the twist they normally put in the live action that doesn't work. That is where I think the problem is. They try to do the live action, but they don't stick to what is already there. They just try to.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The reason being is because
actually did work in that aspect. Like most of them, nah.
What, when they changed it?
Most of them, when they changed it, try to make it a bit more realistic, which I still don't see why they actually do that.
How many times have you seen like The Lion King? Like everyone, even if you ain't seen The Lion King, you know the story of The Lion King, right?
Yes.
So if we're gonna make a new live action movie of it, I'm gonna have to switch it up a little bit or throw something at you that you're not gonna expect for it to at least be some kind of like, you know. Otherwise, I'm just rewatching the same thing exactly the same, just different in like visual effects, you know.
Okay, but that's an example right there of what he just said. One that did, for me personally, and a lot of people, that didn't work. Like the live action of Lion King did not work. Personally, I think they should have just left it.
Yeah, and then to be honest, even the live action Lion King, they shouldn't have even just done. They should have just gone straight to the prequel instead, because literally everyone knows the story about Lion King. They could have just done the prequel or something, an event that happened after he became king, something else. They could have even just done a story about maybe Timon and Pumbaa or something else.
Or like
They
one of
kind
the
of controversial,
movies,
yeah.
one of the movies that like, you know, them ones that only came out straight to VHS.
Yeah.
Because like for me personally, the two in recent times, the two live actions that I think were done well, and because they were different from the movies that they were, and it worked well, was actually the Sonic live action, and that's why it's done well. It has done well,
Yeah.
and then also Aladdin. It was completely different.
Yeah.
Like they didn't try and make him the actual genie. Like he was his own version of the genie. He didn't try and just be, I'm gonna be the same as the genie before. And in terms of it, like it was a different movie. I was going in skeptical because I love Aladdin. So
Yeah.
and I love the genie. So when I saw this different take of the genie, I said, cool, they're not trying to force too much of this is
Yeah.
how the genie is. It was his own genie.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's good, but I think that's because of the star power that Will Smith had. Because had they got like a regular actor to do the genie, they would probably like I can guarantee it. Some producer somewhere would say, "Listen, it was Robbie Williams that did it, so therefore you basically have to be a clone of him." And then Will Smith was the one that probably was like, "No, I think."
No, because it was also the director too. The director wanted to go a different way.
So, yeah, so that's probably so. Yeah, kudos to them for going in a different direction. But I don't think that is because of the overall arc of the story. I think that's more of individuals saying no, we're going to be different. Whereas I think okay, so that's my like opinion on that when it comes to live actions. And also, do you think this Disney Con? I think it's like Walt Mania. I don't know which one it is. But do you think they're playing it safe with all these sequels rather than doing something new? Because I know that I saw something new. I saw a new franchise, which was the Hoppers and the like the baseball team. That was like it's like an anthology where you get like different like every episode is a different like member of the team, like
Yeah.
in character. So that weirdly enough, I got very big vibes, like anime format, like template kind of vibes from that one, where it's like I've only seen that kind of like storytelling done in anime, if that makes any sense. Where it's like you will follow a roster of characters, and each character, whether it's like especially sports animes, where each character has like their own episode, like their own like highlight. I've never actually seen it like in a Western format, if that makes sense.
It didn't really. I thought it looked okay. I'm not gonna lie to you. Obviously, I do like a new IP, but when I saw it, I was just like, this.
I think they're just
Yeah,
scared.
I'm gonna agree with Vans on that. The reason being though is it's about baseball, and we don't really run that over here in the UK. So, like
Facts.
maybe if it was cricket, I could have like
Yeah.
feigned some form of interest. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
about that.
baseball.
Facts.
Cool.
I don't know about that because a lot of us watch a lot of sports anime, but we don't play none of them sports. So I don't know about that. I think that if it's done right and it's like engaging, I think that loads of people are gonna start learning baseball from that
Yeah,
show.
but the thing is, I think they're just scared. They're just scared to put in too much effort, and it comes out, it doesn't do well. And it's like,
I was just gonna say there are other movies that have come out that are new IPs, but there's other issues and stuff around it, like Turning Red. If you know the Turning Red situation, that was a great movie. Went
Panda.
straight to went straight to Disney Plus though. Why is that? These are the conversations being had. There's a certain thing about maybe Pixar ain't getting the love that it should be being with Disney. But they've dropped some ones that have been decent, but they just go straight to streaming.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's also a thing about the grabbing your like attention as well. Like what you said is why do they go back to the old ones? I think it's because the younger generation is harder to keep their attention sometimes. Like, and to gain their attention. Sometimes it's like what's just quick and popular and cool now. Like, so what they sometimes fall back to, and which can be a bad thing, as long as you make sure that it's good for also, which is hard to do, also engaging for the newer generation, is go back to stories where people were invested. Like, for example, we can go through and talk about this cartoon. Oh yeah, that was sick. This movie, that was sick. If they made that, we will go because we've grown up with that pedigree of we enjoyed it when we were younger, and we would like to see an adaptation of it. But
Yeah.
sometimes they miss it where, so that they, for them it's like that's guaranteed money right there. That's guaranteed bank because we know that people are wanting to see it. Then they fall short in terms of they don't invest in the time because sometimes they don't get people who are as invested behind these movies as in terms of okay, with this character looks cool. Some people, okay, let's look at some of the things like some of the series that have had to be cancelled or the movies that have had to be cancelled. Some of the people haven't played the games or watched the cartoons before. Maybe this person's like, I don't even know what this cartoon looks. It looks like a cool character. I'm not going to invest the time to know what the character is to now put the best thing forwards. They're just thinking, this looks cool. This is going to get some people in who it might get the hype of the new people. But a lot of the fans who grew up on it will be like, that's nothing compared to the character that I knew. The perfect example was like Halo. A lot of the people that are involved in Halo were just like, we didn't even play the game. How are you putting people in charge of such an iconic game who weren't involved in the game for the
True.
series?
That's a different issue. I think that's just I agree with you that okay, so like you made several points. So the first point is that I think that when it comes to generational differences, when it comes to the kind of shows that we watch, I think there is like there could be a discussion about like maybe like attention span. I don't really think it's attention span because I know some like Gen Zs and some like Gen Zs who watch like 6-7 hour video essays on YouTube and they're locked in like still at hour 4. So there is the attention span is not necessarily lacking in that kind of regard. I mean, I have heard this like sentiment online, but I just think it's story wise. Like I could say, like it can be argued that the quality of stories has gone down. That's why we're always referencing going back to older stories. But to that point, I also think that also trying to milk nostalgia points where if I see Percy Jackson on the TV screen, I don't care what it's doing. I'm watching it because that's my childhood right there. So they could bomb it and I'm still gonna watch it. And that's because of the nostalgia in me, like seeing something like that come all like from my when I'm in the library, reading that book when I was in year 7, all the way up to now. So there is also the milking of nostalgia from the older generation, but I do think there is plenty of space to expand upon when it comes to the storytelling, especially when it comes to like a big guy like Disney, where like a big conglomerate like Disney, where it's like they shouldn't be afraid to try new things. Like let it be, and well,
I think that's the thing though. They are afraid to try new things sometimes. Because
There are a few. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, like, there are a few new things coming. Like, not to sit here and say like, they ain't got no new ideas. There ain't nothing new coming. It's all spin-offs. Because that isn't the case. Like, there were some new announcements for some new shows and stuff that are coming. Not necessarily. I mean, we're just here talking about the animated side of things, but the D23 thing was pretty big, and there was quite a few other things. Like, I don't know. We're getting lots of new Marvel shows. They showed us some stuff for the Daredevil Born Again series. They brought that over to the MCU. Agatha's getting a series. Can't wait to watch that one. We got new Star Wars stuff coming. The biggest thing is the Skeleton Crew series. We got Jude Law in Star Wars universe now. and, doing some things, and yeah, like there's been a few other things like new IPs in other respects, but when we're talking about that, Disney animated formula and stuff, then maybe it seems like we're getting a few re-ups or accessories to those ones that we already know. But in other aspects, we got to remember now, Disney ain't no longer just Mickey Mouse. Like, they got Star Wars. They got Marvel. Like these are at the parks. Deadpool's at a Disney theme park now. Now you can go Disneyland and see Deadpool. That's crazy. While making a lightsaber just for bands. Yeah, no, I'm just saying there are a few new IPs out that are looking quite interesting. From the whole showcase.
Okay, Andy, you were gonna say something.
Yeah, I was just for my point of the fact that there's so many sequels and stuff like that, because these are safe bets, and I feel like they're not putting the time and the effort sometimes to maybe trust these sort of smaller sort of stories, which I think are still lovely. Like Turning Red, I thought was really great. I didn't think it got the attention and love it deserved. Same as
There was a lot of controversy.
there was a lot of controversy with it. Elemental too. I really liked Elemental and the different.
That was a great show. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like I think there's still space. There's so much space for stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, when I heard Zootopia 2 and Incredibles, so I was like, oh my god, I love those. But that should be alongside those sort of unique, sort of smaller stories that can still be given the love and attention that they deserve. But like in the list of what they announced at Disney, I think there's only two things. No. I think there's one thing that's just new, or two. That's it. Everything else is a sequel or remake. Avatar 3, Fire and Ash. Mufasa Origin Story. There's a Tron Ares. Snow White live
Tron
action.
Ares, yeah.
Freakier Friday. So it's Freaky
Yeah.
Friday 2. Like there's so many 2s, 3s, spin-offs. You know?
It's true. Although I'm interested for a new Tron. Like it's been so long. I feel like it's such a underutilized IP, and like Tron was talking about the whole immersion into technology and like everything before it was actually a thing, and now in this day and age, it's amazing that it isn't more of a thing. Like the Matrix is like there, but where's Tron? Tron was there before Matrix, and like.
Yeah,
It's
it's
talk about
true,
the
but
same
it's just like
thing.
there's too much. I think the balance is not right. There's too many sequels, prequels, spin-offs and not enough sort of unique stories added into the mix. It's not balanced at all. The scales are not balanced whatsoever. And I think that's my issue with this. Despite the fact that I am also excited, but I would equally be excited if they put time into like those other stories. Which was why when they did the baseball thing, I was like, oh, this is the only thing that's outside of all those sequels, prequels, and it's like, what is this? I'm still gonna give it a chance, of course, but it's just like, let's put more time and attention onto those other stuff.
Yeah, they did announce. Well, they did do some gaming stuff as well. So they've, like they're working with Fortnite to do this whole like I don't know, Disney Fortnite metaverse island thing where it encompasses all the different worlds, like Ready Player One, but with all
Yeah.
the like Marvel, Star Wars IPs and stuff. So at the moment, you can go watch like the events in there, and you'll get like a free like Wolverine back bling for your character if you watch 10 minutes of it. And they just announced in the D23 that the next season is all Marvel, basically. Doctor Doom is coming with a bunch of Marvel characters to wreck stuff on Fortnite. And yeah, they're one of Fortnite's biggest seasons till date. And like probably when they were making Boku bucks was when they done something similar in the past and had a Marvel season like this. So it's just they're branching into so many different avenues right now.
Which is good and bad, spreading themselves very thin, which means maybe like they're picking quantity over quality maybe sometimes. So final, because we need to wrap up. Final thoughts, guys. What's everyone top 3 things you're looking forward to in terms of what was announced at D23?
Who starts?
You can start.
Excellent. We are looking at Incredibles 3, obviously. We are looking at Toy Story 5, obviously. And we're also looking at number 3. Who are they gonna cast for the older sister?
I said wrap it up. What do you mean?
Sorry, because that's a real question. Who are they gonna cast for Lilo's older sister?
Okay.
I'm just saying, she was a lifeguard. So anybody. So I'm saying Toy Story 5, Incredibles 3, and The Star Wars Skeletal Crew, I believe.
All right. OJ Taka, what about you?
Yeah, okay. Daredevil Born Again. Waiting to see that. Then this new Star Wars movie, what's a Mandalorian movie? So if you ain't watched the Mandalorian, catch up. Well, I think it's like the Mandalorian and Grogu or something like that. And yeah, them to actually do this whole metaverse like island thing and all the stuff to come with that. So those would be my three things from D23 that I'm most excited for.
Okay. In the dark, what about you?
Daredevil, Percy Jackson, and Incredibles.
Zed, what about you?
Yeah, same thing. Probably Daredevil. It's been a long time. Need to see him back. Incredibles. I think it's only that's only two for me, to be honest. Like to be honest, like I'm very hard to please. So I was just looked at those two and I was just like, yeah, that's what I'm interested in. So yeah.
No, meanwhile, just two. Well, yeah, everyone. Incredibles, I mean, we are all fans of the Incredibles here, that is. I can't wait for the Incredibles 3. So yeah, Incredibles 3 for me. I want to put Avatar 3 there because I really love the Avatar films so much.
They're
So freaking much.
so boring.
I love them. I just love them. It's a coin toss between the fact that I think they've done too many Toy Stories, to be quite honest with you. But am I gonna watch? Yes, which is like I'm just feeding into this propaganda of remix. And Daredevil because I absolutely love Charlie Cox's. I'm just so glad they got the actors back. It just pleases me so much because I love the brutality in Daredevil. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's brilliant.
Mhm.
So well done. Well
Wait, hold on. Is Punisher in there too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Punisher's in
yeah.
there too,
Yeah,
bro.
He's a
okay.
good actor.
Yeah,
Yeah, they brought everyone
Right.
back.
Okay. I'm even happier now.
Foggy, everyone, like they're all back, which is so great. So just glad that there's continuation, which is what I love. So yeah, I think that's everything from things. So we'll see. Some things are coming out, like. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching and all that good stuff. I've been here today with In the Dark,
Stay safe, guys.
OG Otaku,
Keep it OG, peeps.
Obsidian Fury,
In a bit, my people.
Zen.
Take it easy.
And it's been your hostess with the mostest, Creatively Anzi. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And this has been the Melanin Gamers podcast. Bye, guys.